and touch the sky. In the city of angels, feels like I'm coming home. With my head up in the clouds, I am searching for something, and I'm still hoping. 'Cause I wanna be in, not out, wanna make this all count. Yes, I wanna go crazy now, gonna make this all count. Feeling like a rock star, 'cause tonight I'm getting out of line and it's alright. Feeling like feeling like just as cool as John Wayne in his movies. Feeling like I'm James Dean and I know it. Feeling like feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star.
But it's not that easy. You're complicating things for me. No, it's not that easy. Maybe just a little time can heal me, but it doesn't feel the way. What are you doing to me? Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. Though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. that stupid? Maybe just a little time can make you change your mind about us. I thought that we were meant to be. Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. Though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. For you. For you. Hey, I've got you on my mind. Yeah, you're all that I think about. You know you got me going wild. And what I want is you. Could you come a little closer? I want you by my side. And I'll try the best I can to make you feel this way. Don't let me down, down, down. It could be you and I, and I want you now, 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 now. Don't let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here. I wanna stay here with you. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. Tell me what you wanna do. Yeah, 'cause I'd do anything. I just wanna be with you. How can you make me feel this way? Don't let me down, down, down. It could be you and I want you now, 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 now. Don't let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here. I wanna stay here with you. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. I just wanna hear you say that you want me to. I told you I can't get you off my mind. Come let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here. I wanna stay here with you. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna stay here with you.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'll be your host. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. I'm having an okay week. Um, there's been a lot going on, but I think the biggest news is that I got to fly the SMO 360 from Insta360 on top of my DJI Avata without a battery, and everything was for the most part successful. Um, I made a I made a mistake when I was putting everything back together, so I destroyed a part of my DJI Avata that I don't know that I'll be able to get back, and we'll talk about that in a little bit later when people show up. But there is one thing that's not working the way that it used to. So anyway, we'll talk about that too. I will say that I haven't soldered anything in probably 27 years. I took a electronics class in college and haven't really done much with it since, but I understand electricity and I understand, positive and negative and where wires go and all that kind of stuff. But it's been a long time since I've soldered. I've actually I've soldered copper pipe since the last time I soldered anything electrical. So the fact that I got everything back together and it flew without a hitch was wonderful. So pretty excited that I accomplished something. I was trying to think when I ended up doing that. I might have done it Saturday night and then took it out flying on Sunday, or Friday night. Maybe I did it on Friday night and then I took it out flying Saturday morning. But either way, got it all working, and I'm really, really excited about it. I've been putting 360 cameras on drones for the last 7 years on my channel. That was pretty much the second or third video I ever did. Was mounting I bought a 360 mount for my DJI Mavic Pro, the original. This was before the Platinum even ever came out. And on top of it, I put several cameras on that drone, but the first one I did, pretty sure it was the 360 Fly. It might not have been the 360 Fly. It might have been the Xiaomi Mi Sphere. A weird name for a camera, but we just ended up calling it the Mi Sphere. But that DJI Mavic Pro carried the original Samsung Gear 360, then the Samsung Gear 360 2017 edition, the Mi Sphere. I put a Rilo on it, and I put an Insta360 1. Like before there were X's and RS's, there was the 1. And I put that on the Mavic Pro. So, but I did all that stuff with like GoPro mounts and 3D printed mounts and all that. And then I decided at one point that I think it was when I had I had the DJI Spark, my original Spark, and I put a GoPro on top of that, and it was too heavy for it. I put the GoPro Session on it, and then after that, I went to the original DJI Air. I think it was a Mavic Air back then, and I put the 1X on there. Is 360 1X. But I decided around there that I wouldn't put cameras on drones anymore because they were too heavy for what the drone was supposed to do. Like most drones are engineered to fly in winds, so they can carry their own weight but unless there's a payload weight in the specs, they're not really meant to carry a payload. My office is falling apart. But the larger drones, where like the Inspires and the Typhoons, and the Matrices, like a lot of those drones have cameras that are removable, and then you can, whatever weight you take off of that drone, you can put that weight back on. So that's kind of where I've moved to the Inspire and the Inspire 2 for all of my carrying of 360 equipment. But it's pretty cool that the SMO weighs next to nothing. I was actually doubling the weight. The battery that I was going to use was more than the weight of the SMO 360, and I was like, you know what? I'm really not saving much weight here. So the way I did it, I've played around with my DJI Avata, took it all apart, and I put a pigtail from the battery all the way up to the sticking out. So now I can, and I've got a whole bag full of pigtails that I can attach to any other batteryless camera. Okay. So yeah, with that said, I can now put a Bones on my Avata. I can now put a SMO 4K on my Avata, but all of you guys don't like the SMO 4K, so I probably won't do that because I'll get a lot of dislikes on my channel if I do that. But like, nobody on the planet has put a SMO on their Avata. The SMO 360. Like, I looked around for videos and I couldn't find. I found what's the guy's name? Schmacky Tech. I don't remember what his channel's name is, but he did a video, but his video was on the Pavo 360 drone from Beta FPV. I think I'm the only person that has done a video with the SMO on top of a drone. And I'm probably the only one on the planet that cares about it. I will say, so back there is the MetaQuest 2. And once I uploaded the 360 version of the SMO camera drone flight last night, because it takes a while to render 360 videos on YouTube. It only rendered up to 4K, which is frustrating because it's in like 5.7K or 5.2K or something like that. But I uploaded it to YouTube last night, and then this morning, first thing I did when I got up is, I teased it last week. I sat on top of my Avata and rode all around my neighborhood, and it was pretty awesome. I'm a little upset that it's only 4K, because 360 video doesn't look that good in 4K. It really needs to be a little bit bigger than that. And it's compressed a little bit on YouTube. So I really feel like YouTube is trying to get out of the 360 video business because their compression is getting worse, in my opinion, for that. But I have been talking, and it's almost 7 o'clock. So let's get through the roll call. So Eat More Possum was first, and he basically said that Sneeve was sleeping. Steve was sleeping. Steven Drones showed up second, and then he said that I bet Eat More Possum isn't even here now. So Brent has a tendency to come in here and make a comment just so he's first, and then he goes and watches Dad Random or something. But then Eat More Possum said that he was ubiquitous. That's a big word. Talked about the Mavic 3 firmware that just dropped. I've got release notes up for July 25th, but I'm not sure if there's a newer one. I try to look for it on I need to find where the latest update is. I don't want to just watch somebody else's video. I want to actually find where they are. If you guys know what the firmware version is, we can go over it together. But then Russell Blarum is here. I hope I'm not butchering your name. So Steve said he just set the trail cam out. A lot of old stuff on the rock. So Steve didn't know what that meant either. So Jim said there's a lot of cool features. So if you guys want to call the features out, we'll talk about them. Or if you guys can send me a link of where the release notes are, that would be awesome too. So Jim's Droning's in the house. What's up, Jim? Chuck from Covaction is in the house. Welcome. Who else we got? Chuck is missing Iceland. I would too if I ever got to go there. Chuck said it's nice to see me without the eye patch. I appreciate it. So Steve and Chuck go at it about editing. Steve doesn't like to edit video, and he got mad at me for having a project that had editing involved. And so Chuck said editing is a chance to tell a story. Jim, hope I'm not missing anybody. So Jim said he loves his Mavic 3. These new features are going to be cool. Was it a Mavic 3 or the Air 3 that had the update? Because I've been looking up Air 3. So Jim said, cast a shadow where you're going to land. How does your drone cast a shadow? Being able to see what the obstacle avoidance cameras see. Are you serious? So like those Skydio videos where they showed like the LiDAR, you're going to be able to see that with the whatever drone I'm talking about. I don't even know which one we're talking about now. Gives a green line point for home. So is your home point always on the screen, or does it point where it's flying at, or like what does that mean? We'll have to look these up because I'm super intrigued now. So the landing shadow will show you if you are landing on Icelandic sand. So casting a shadow, are you talking about like it's going to put like a black silhouette of your drone on the ground and show you exactly where it's going to land? Is that what that is? because I think that's a really great idea. All right. What time is it? It's 3 minutes till 7. We're going to take, I took a drink of coffee, now a drink of water. I drink a coffee drink, I drink a water drink. I drink a vodka drink, I drink a lager drink. I sing songs that remind them of the good times. I sing songs that remind them of the better times. All right. So I think first thing I'm going to do is I want to show you guys a couple videos, and then I'm going to kind of explain all the processes of that I went through to make this happen. Okay. So we're going to start out with this video, and I need to take my, I wish there was an easy way to take my, whoa, I don't want to delete that. No. Okay. All right. So we got that ready. So the first video I want to show you guys is what the SMO looks like in the air. What's up, Charles? Welcome to the chat. I hope you're having a good night. So this is kind of me taking off and flying. It looks heavier than it is. It's really not that heavy of a camera. It's about half the weight of the GoPro Mini. And I think all that's just because you don't have a battery in it. Here's me syncing up the audio, just in case. All right, the motors sound good. No wobble, no vibration. And I'm shooting this with my Canon Z10. So, as you can see, it's like not moving. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. But as you can see, like, I mean, it's kind of wobbling back and forth a little bit. So I'm gonna go back to where it was in the sky. Think about here. So I've got a tiny, it's an Insta360R, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's an RS, but it's 360R. Has all the goodness of Insta360. It has stabilization. It has, so I want to show you guys that. And we can pull up the video of kind of my planet view or my 360 view, but Dad Random put a message on my video saying he'd like to see the specs and the comparison. So I'm working on a video that's a comparison. It's actually kind of weird. So I'm going to show this. And I want to put it up. How do I do this? I'm just going to take me off. Nope, that's not what you do. Do that. I'm going to go ahead and play the video. And I'm just going to commentate it for a while. So there's good and bad about this video. I don't know if it's going or not. Yep, there it goes. And I'm still working on syncing up the videos and everything, but you got the DJI Avata on the left and you got the SMO 360 on the right. And I want you guys to look at my telemetry. So I have about 7 to 8 satellites for most of the flight, which is doable. Like I didn't have any problem. It didn't have any problem figuring out where the home point was or anything like that. But I think basically what I'm doing, my camera is not on top of the GPS unit. Oh, and this is me like spinning it around just to see if it's going to fall out of the sky while it's only 5 feet off the ground. Like if it's going to fall out of the sky, I want it to do it right here instead of above the road or whatever. So anyway, so I'm starting to read Chuck's comments. All right, Chuck's going crazy. Pay no attention to Chuck's comments. I'm going to talk. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys the difference between the DJI Avata camera on the left, which has the dynamic range isn't very good on the Avata's camera, and you can see right here. Whereas the SMO 360 is letting in, it's a lot better picture. When you get up closer, like here, when it's a good lighting situation, then they're pretty comparable. The detail on the Avata is definitely better than the detail on the SMO 360, but the SMO 360 is actually recording everything, as opposed to the video just being 4K image. The stabilization on the SMO 360 is insane. The DJI Avata is in kind of FPV mode. I could put it in horizon mode and it would be a better comparison. But like the sky is just blown out right here in the Avata, whereas the SMO 360 is picking up everything. Now, when I'm not facing the sun, the Avata comes back, so it can handle that that situation a little bit better. So I wanted to show you this video. This video is kind of a work in progress, but I also want you guys to notice that my distance broke. For some reason, my telemetry on distance is not even showing up. I do have a warning that's on my goggles that says that goggles are not compatible. So it might be just a firmware thing. Yeah, so Chuck, both of the settings on both of these are automatic. No ND filter on either camera. So Chuck, it's warm because the camera is definitely warmer. I think the color science on Insta360 is way better than the Avata color science. But the Avata's log, so I had to use a lookup table for it. But like I said, this is still in progress. And Chuck, I completely disagree with you on the auto function. But we can talk about that too. So yeah. So I wanted to show you guys this. This is really not what the SMO 360 is for. The SMO 360 is more meant for tiny planets and 360 videos and looking looking around the corner and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't want to leave a lot of things lingering. So I want to talk to some of Chuck's comments and stuff like that. All right, I'm gonna go back to the chat. I'm gonna pop some of these up. So, Emor Possum says GPS is blocked by the SMO. I think half of it is. So if you think about satellites, they're all over. But I think because it's right behind the GPS unit, it's blocking half of the sky from the GPS unit, is my guess. When I put cameras on in the past, Bluetooth has caused an issue and Wi-Fi has caused issues, but I was unable to connect to the camera, so I don't know if it even has that stuff on it. So let me. I want to see what the specs are real quick. So where was it? I went back way too small. Back too far. So I have a clapper to arm the Avata. I thought that was pretty funny. All right, I'm going to pause this, come back. All right, so, and Chuck, you're welcome to come on here if you want to talk about, your ideas. So Chuck said the Avata 10-bit camera is respectable. No need to add weight. So just keep the ISO at 800 or lower. 800, what the? So I can spend more time editing if I spent less time looking for the appropriate music. The hardest part for me, the real struggle. So Chuck said the Avata is not meant to carry that payload. So what do you think the payload is? Curious. Emor Possum said the SMO 360 is very light. So I looked it up. It is 55 grams. So yeah, I mean, you can barely feel it in your hands. It's so light. And I flew around with this guy. And the session. So, they're like, people are putting cameras that are 2 to 3 times the weight of this SMO 360 camera. So I just want to bring that up. Low and fast and good light. Poor motors. Okay, so I want to bring up the Chuck asked what my Avata camera settings. The only thing that so FPS is 60 frames per second. Um, actually, let me see real quick. I wasn't expecting to answer that question. It might not tell me. It'll tell me on a Mac, but I don't know if it'll tell me here. So, all right, I got a bunch of different little videos here. Actually, I don't know how to look that up on Windows 11 at this point. So it's not on manual. And I'll tell you why I don't use manual. I think, and this is my opinion, but you should only use manual settings if you're not going to move. So then this is totally my opinion. I know people will, before you start going off on me, Chuck, let me finish my point. So if you have a camera on a tripod and you're pointing in a certain direction, you know what the white balance of that is going to be, or the color temperature, what ISO you want to use, what shutter speed you want to use. All those things are, they're pretty easy to understand because your camera's not moving and your subject doesn't move much. Might change lighting and stuff like that. When your camera on your drone is moving 1,000 feet through the air, looking at the ground, looking at the sky, looking at completely different lighting situations, looking at different colors, looking at different everything. You could lock in the white balance, might be a good idea, but auto exposure, in my opinion, is a must. And the focus, depending on what drone you have, like the Avata is kind of an infinity focus. It's like a GoPro camera. But like on a Mavic where you've got your focus point and you click, okay, I'm going to be looking at the ground most of this flight, so I can point my camera or point the focus there, or I can change things on the screen. But with the DJI Avata, you can't change things on the screen. You can't stop what you're doing and adjust the focal point, adjust the auto adjust where you want to expose from and all that kind of stuff. So anything that's moving needs to constantly meter the situation. And so that's my argument with using auto. Now, if you're flying like I don't know, 2 miles an hour and you're pointing at a big rock, like the video you did where you're flying through the cliff, you can understand that situation because nothing's changing. You know what I mean? Like you're flying in one direction, or you're flying, orbiting around like a huge natural structure. That lighting's not going to change much and exposure is not going to change much. So you can definitely manual that shot and lock it in. But flying an FPV drone through, up and down through different lighting situations, I think it does. In my opinion, it does a better job in auto. Now, this flight that I'm showing you was a bad example, because it was sunrise, and you have that kind of dark silhouette of the condos, and then all of a sudden, the exposure changes as it goes over the roofs and stuff like that. But I wanted to show you guys that the Avata was handling it like a beast. But yeah, so I hope that answers. Like white balance, I wouldn't mind locking white balance in. But as far as like exposure, I would definitely do auto exposure. And if you have a camera that has different focal points, then I would do that auto as well. So Andrew, I was doing the flying. Chuck was doing the talking. I was kidding. So the definitely temperature differences. There's definitely completely different color science with both cameras. A lot of that has to do with what the cameras are looking at. So if you think about, and I'll just pull this up again. So if you think about, let's go somewhere here, maybe. That's a bad example. There we go. So if you think about this camera situation right here, the DJI Avata is looking at a bunch of houses and a sky, which isn't that blue. This sky right here was almost white, where the sun was coming up. On the right, the SMO 360 camera is looking at everything. So it's looking at a huge sky. It's not looking at just the white part of the sky. It's looking at the entire sky, and it's looking at the entire ground. So there's more green behind me and underneath me than there is in the Avata shot. All the Avata is looking through is a tiny little view. So that's why I think the difference in color balance is. But you guys are giving me a lot of information to say when I finally do complete that video. So Chuck is going to let me do what I want to do, and Chuck, you can do what you want to do too. That's why we create together. Like, I'm not going to be controlled by you. You're not going to be controlled by me, but you know, we can agree to disagree and just enjoy each other's art. So yes, on the the home point was there. That's why I think it's weird that the distance just didn't even try. And I don't know if that has anything to do with GPS or not, because, and it might have a lot to do with the GPS, because all the other, like, there's other sensors on there, but the downward facing sensors don't have anything to do with distance. The, you know, that's height. There's probably like a barometer in there or something that lets you know. I don't know. It might be a GPS thing. But like, even when my DJI FPV drone was freaking out because I put the 360 camera on it, it still tried to figure out what the distance was. It just happened to change my home point 3 times in the middle of the flight. Let's see. And Chuck, I hope it didn't make you mad. I noticed you stopped talking, but I just wanted to say my point. I used to preach manual settings, but I would get to the point where part of my video looked good and the other part didn't. Whereas if I use auto, the majority of my video ends up looking good. But if you're just trying to get like the video behind me, if you're just trying to get that shot, then you can do all the professional mumbo jumbo you want to. And like with my DJI Inspire 2, I'm gonna lock in settings on that camera. But on my Avata, especially flying through my neighborhood at sunrise, there's a lot of changes happening. And I guess I have a different perspective since I've been flying the Avata and the FPV drone, just because I used to purposefully point my camera at the ground and put just a sliver of the sky in the shot so I could get all of my settings right set for the ground. And all of my photography drone shots were done pointed at the ground. And now I like to look at the sky and go through trees and stuff like that. So a lot of that has changed. So, and now that I've taken it apart, I might go ahead and add the larger motors onto it. And then nobody can say anything to me. What? No, I'm just kidding. Jim wants to control us both. Mini 4 Pro's coming. Yep, that's pretty exciting. I did see where somebody was holding out on buying the Air 3 so they could get the Mini 4 Pro. I don't think the Mini 4 Pro is going to be better than the Air 3, but I do think they have different. Like the Mini 3 Pro is probably the best thing that DJI has put out for their marketing team. You know, it's cheap. You don't have to have a license to drive it, and it does a lot. So I think that's a sweet spot for consumers, but and maybe for doing something that doing what Chuck does and travel vlogging. It's definitely easy to travel with that thing, but if your showmanship and your what you want to display, I don't know that the quality of the Mini 3 is what you should be using. So but Andrew, you're asking Chuck if he's interested. I'm definitely interested. I think the Mini 3 Pro is amazing. The first flight that I did, I mean, I was on my back porch for an hour and a half, just flying everywhere. And I was like, man. And I definitely wasn't flying line of sight because I lost sight of it, at 50 feet away because it's so tiny. But, I mean, I was flying miles away from my house, and it was just like, well, this thing might fly away or it might come back. I don't know. But I had a blast with that thing. Chuck did a hit and run. So he came and made fun of me and then left? We'll have to get on to him for that. That's okay, though. So Andrew asked, how much do you think the price will be for the Mini 4? Let's see if anybody's predicted that. All right, I'm going to share this. All right. So Mini 4 Pro leaks release date and price. The rumored DJI Mini 4 Pro could be a must-have, a sub 250 gram drone for aerial photographers in 2023. The timing couldn't be better from DJI since new U.S. legislation coming into effect on September 16th requires drones weighing more than 3 to constantly broadcast its location. So remote ID has to be on drones over 250 grams. So there's launching the Mini 4 Pro at the end of September, so it might be in a couple weeks. So how much will it cost? Unknown for now, but likely similar to the DJI Mini 3 Pro, which is currently priced from $759. Now that's not the overall like Fly More package or anything like that. That's just the drone. I think that's probably pretty right. The Air 3 came out at $1,000, was like $1,099 for the drone by itself. So you could probably get your hands on the Mini 4 Pro by itself for probably around $800. And I think that's probably legit. What'll be interesting is what controller will be used for it. So what they did last time with the Air 2S is they came out with the Air 2S, and then they brought out the Mavic 3 Pro, or maybe just the Mavic 3 with a new controller. And so what they did this time is they came out with the Air 3 with a new controller. So it'll probably be compatible with a new controller that just came out with the Air 3, I would suspect. So it'll be interesting if you bought an Air 3, then you might just need to buy the drone, and you can pair it up with your new controller. So Jim said, guessing with a screen controller, $900 or so. It's fair. Yeah, I think the controller with the screen on it, we can see what the difference is right there. Just by what the difference is on the Air. So if you look at, so the Air 3 with the DJI RC is $1,099. So I had that right. And then the Air 3 Fly More combo is $1,349. So what that did was it added $250. So it cost $250 to get 2 more batteries in a bag. And then with the RC combo, it's $1,549. But that is the Fly More combo with the RC2. So you don't have, it looks like they don't have an option with, for the Air, they don't have an option with I don't think, or at least not on this screen. Let me see. So yeah, on DJI's website, they don't have an option of getting the drone by itself with the RC2, which is a controller with the Android tablet in it. But so for $450 is the Fly More combo. So if we're talking $799 for the Mini 4 Pro, so let's say that's $800 plus another $450, so it'd probably be $1,250 with the RC2 controller and the Fly More package. That's what I'm guessing, going by these numbers. And I don't even see how much they've got the Mini 3 Pro right now. So let's see. Oh, okay. So that's another question I have. Is the Mini 3 Pro coming out, or is the Mini 4 Pro coming out, or the Mini 4? Because if the Mini 4 is coming out, then it'll probably be like, it was like the Mini 3 originally was $559. So the Mini 4 by itself might be $559 or more. But if the Mini 3 Fly More package, yeah, so it'll be depending on whether they bring out a Pro version or not. But if it is the Mini 4 Pro, that's around $759 right now. And it's $909 for the one with the controller on it. So yeah, Jim, you might be right. And it'd be pretty cool if they came out with the immersive combo already. That's a lot of fun, but I think it needs some more work. So Jim said, I use the Mini 3 Pro more than the Mavic 3. And, and Brent said that was blasphemy. Brent said, I need to meet up with Nacho and compare flying his Mata Nevada. I think that would be awesome. Speaking of Nacho, I've been waiting for him to show up on the live stream, but I think he's working too much. But I wanted to show off what Nacho sent me. He had bought, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. He bought several accessories for his DJI Avata, and then he did the Access upgrade. And so he didn't have a need for all these other accessories anymore. So he just sent them to me. I've sent him things in the past, and so it was pretty cool. But he sent me some Master Air Screw blades. And I thought about putting some of these on since I had the whole drone apart. But I just wanted to show them to you. Actually, I'll show you both of these. So this is the normal Avata blade, and this is the air screw. So he sent me 4 of those in red. So I think the red is going to look really cool with the SNO 360. So I might do that just for fun. Do a review on those blades. And then he sent me another little baggie. And it looks like I only have 3 black corkscrews. So hopefully I have enough. I hope they're not all the same blade, because I could do like a red on the front and red on the back and then black on the front. And then he sent me these bumpers. These little, kind of gives my Avata ridges. I don't ever hit anything, so I don't know that I need them, but I might use them. And then he sent me these, but I only got 3 of them. So I've got neon green bumpers. So I guess he had some Rex and didn't get all 4 of them or something like that. But it's pretty cool that I have those, so I might just trick it up for a flight one day, or put green bumpers on the front and then red props on the back, or do something silly. But I really wish Chuck would have been here to see the whole reason that we put 360 cameras on drones. Oh, there's Chuck. He's back. So Chuck says Mini 4 Pro has better OcuSync 4 and better object avoidance with the same camera as the Mini 3 Pro. So to this point, the object avoidance is pretty good on the Mini 3 Pro. It just doesn't point everywhere, so you can't. The downside of the Mini 3 Pro is it's got training wheels on flying left to right, because they expect someone to fly sideways into something, because you're so used to your drone telling you what's around you, but you mentally you have to think about the fact that, well, if I start flying sideways, it's not going to tell me if there's a tree to the left of me or the right of me, or it's not going to tell me that leaves are right there, stuff like that. So if they were going to improve the object avoidance, then it would have to be 360 degrees like the Air. Chuck said neither are worth upgrading for. So I agree with that 100%. And I'm still, are they skipping the Mini 4 altogether? Or is it going to be a Mini 4 or is it going to be a Mini 4 Pro? That's what I want to know. Because the Mini 3 doesn't really have object avoidance on it, does it? Let me check that. So yeah, the Mini 3 just has like fake little black pieces of plastic where the object avoidance should be. I hate it when they do that. They make it look all cool, and then you're like, oh, it doesn't have any functionality. So if the Mini 4 Pro had D-Log, that would be another story. So Chuck said his RC Pro has the FCC hack and had zero range issues in Iceland. Interesting. Is the FCC hack what is the FCC hack? I know FCC is like the radio signals and stuff. Is that because they, like when you go to other countries, they have different regulations? I'm curious as to what that hack does. Chuck said that the OcuSync 4 is incredible, but with how good OcuSync 3 is, it's kind of like overkill. I totally agree with that as well. And that's kind of what I said earlier. Like I was flying, the first time I flew the Mini 3 Pro, like I flew it all way farther than I should have. I flew from my house over to the interstate, which is probably 2.5 miles away. And that's when my signal kind of started breaking up. Now it was my signal was worse when I started pointing the drone back at myself. So you could definitely tell which direction the antennas were pointing at. But, so yeah. So Chuck said the Mavic 3 is his favorite, but the Mini 3 Pro is no slouch and so quiet and easy to carry. So portability, yeah, I would say the mini range. Like now, the mini drones are contenders. Like the Mavic Mini, I mean, it couldn't fly very far. It's a pretty cool little drone, but when Nacho was in town and I flew the Mini compared to his Mavic Pro, which was like 2 years old at the time, or 2.5, 3 years old at the time, like the Mavic Pro was blowing it through the water in speed and distance and all that kind of stuff. But the Mini 3 Pro, when I was out with Bob, I flew that thing around a mountain. So it was pretty cool. Or knob, or whatever you call it. So all right, now everybody's talking about so I am 10 minutes behind you guys. So the Mini 3 blades cause some instability flying low over grass. Also, the air screw 3 blades require the dono guard clips to be trimmed. Oh. Yeah, I didn't buy anything from Dono. All right. All right, I'm just reading through the comments, catching up to you guys. So the FCC hack gives you stronger signal in the US standard than reduced European signal. So is that only useful in Europe, or is a stronger signal everywhere? That's I think maybe my real question. Jim, I think the Mavic Pro is older than 6 years. I think it's like 8 years old now. Because I bought it with my first paycheck, and I've been working there for 8 years now. But yeah, it's a pretty old drone. Chuck, I don't mind a little opposition. I mean, I'm confident and you're confident. That's about all it is. You've got your opinion, I've got my opinion, but we also have two completely different use cases. I struggle in the, like, I know you're confident in the way that you present your ideas, but I don't feel like everything's black and white. Maybe that's the best way to say it. Oh, yeah, I guess it was 2016, wasn't it? I still don't agree with that. Maybe I'm losing my mind. So, Bill, welcome to the chat, by the way. I know that there's been talk of banning DJI from using FCC. Will that be affected? Like, will that be a reason for everybody to hack their DJI drones in the future, or is it just like I've heard a lot of talk about DJI and the FCC? Do you know much about that? All right, I'm going to pull up a video and see if it works. So, oh, I don't have the GoPro viewer. Sorry, this is taking a while, guys. All right. Here we go. All right, y'all. There's my big belly. But I wanted to. I'm using GoPro Player now, and so I wanted to show you guys what I love about the SMO 360, and then we're going to call it a night. See you, Chuck. Thanks for hanging out, man. Hope you get some sleep, buddy. So, and I think the audio might be a little nuts. Oh, did we die? Oh, I don't think my computer is going to be able to handle this. I'm about to crash, I think. So I just want to get to like some really cool shots. I'm going to do some of oh, hey there. All right. So what I loved about 360 is being able to just kind of look around where I'm at. The Avata was the first camera that I wanted to try it on just because it was FPV view. But I'm going to be adding it to other drones. So that's funny. There we go. It's playing now. Oh, maybe it was playing. I just hadn't taken off yet and it wasn't making any noise. Oh, no. We're crashing. We're just going to stop. I wanted to get to just a cool shot. The really cool shot is when you're going between my houses, but I don't know if I can do that without playing it. I'm trying to think when I do it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is a cool shot right here. Oh no! Did I just lose it? There we go. I want to go back to the front. Okay, so I want to show you guys. This is why I really love it. Being able to, like, this is kind of in the front of my house, and I think it's cool to be able to like get any angle. I want to do my next video. I want to do is if I can figure out how to get into the camera, I want to put it in time-lapse mode. I'm not sure if that's a function on it or not. It might not have the same firmware as the Insta360s. But look at the sky. Like I'm just really excited about this. I had to do some custom stitching to get it to work a little bit because it didn't work with the lens guards. It didn't work with the underwater dive case. Like there's all these presets in Insta360 Studio, but what I had to do was I had to set it to custom and then do it all the way, and I had to make it dynamic because the 3D print that I did, it kind of creates a black line at some point. So I have to play around with that a little bit, but it'll be fun to do some tracking shots with it and all that. But I want to get another video because I think everybody's tired of the first flight video. But yeah, there's definitely a lot to look at here. I think, yeah, I don't have enough graphics card to run that right now. So let's, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I think I want to call it a night. I want to thank everybody for hanging out and discussing. I'm going to play around with the SMO 360 a little bit more before I move on to anything else. But yeah. So and I don't know what my next purchase is going to be, to be honest. The Air 3 looks good, but the Mavic 3 is, you know, I can find good deals on it now. So I don't know that the Air 3, I don't know. I feel like the Mavic 3 is kind of the sweet spot right now. But yeah. And I think Insta360 is coming out with something else. I know Kandao is coming out with a new Kukan, which is going to be a pretty good 360 camera. And I'm also thinking about getting another VR 180 camera. But yeah, that's on the forefront of what I do. I'm trying to figure out videos that are different than everybody else's because I don't feel like I'm ever going to be able to get in front of anybody. Like, there's a lot of people that get things for free months before it's released, and there's no way I can compete with that. So finding my niche is, that's just kind of be what I do. I'm liking a lot of the videos from the Air 3, but I have a lot of drones that do really cool things, and I'm just going to start making videos with them instead of buying something new that it's kind of mediocre of an upgrade. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I gotta pee all of a sudden, so I'm gonna close out the night with a, I went blank. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell for notifications when I put out more videos of really cool stuff that I'm really good at. So have a wonderful night, y'all. Peace out.